So the Facebook Marketplace sellers in my area must have all just gone crazy because I was able to pick up this thing right here for only $250. And yeah, it's not a complete system, but it really only needs 3 things to be a very strong gaming PC. And after we finish building this thing's gonna be really awesome. Welcome back to the PC Rehab, everybody, and the 8th episode of our Build Up Challenge. If you are new here, this is a series where we build and sell gaming PCs so that we can save those profits to eventually get to the point where we can build a top-of-the-line gaming PC. And we've already finished Season 1's build, and we have shipped that computer off to the winner of that system. So we need to make some more money so that we can build a computer that tops that system. And that system was a 7800X3D and a 4080, so we're definitely in store for quite a beautiful build in this season. So we need to make sure that this PC looks fantastic so we can make a pretty decent amount of money on it so we can get to that end goal just a little faster. Now let's go ahead and show you what that $250 actually got us. So what we have here is an ROG Strix X470F gaming motherboard. We also get a Ryzen 7 3700X CPU. We get a really beautiful up here aftermarket CPU cooler, and we get 16 gigs of T-Force RAM, and it's inside of this really nice Corsair case. Now the 3 items that we do need in order to make this a functional gaming PC is a power supply, a graphics card, and some form of storage. But thankfully, this video is sponsored by Team Group, who sent over their MP44 1TB M.2 NVMe. This is 100% going to help us decrease the cost of what it takes to build this PC and help us make some more money so that we can get to our grand finale computer just a little bit faster. If you want to take a look at this specific NVMe or any of the other products that Team Force does have to offer, I will put links in the description down below. And how fitting is it that Team Group decided to sponsor this video and the build that we're doing already has T-Force Vulcan Z RAM inside of it. Now, if you have been watching me for any amount of time, then you probably know that I love the brand Thermalright. And the reason that I love Thermalright so much is because they make a very high quality product and they do it at a very low cost. So it's perfect when it comes to flipping computers because you get a quality product and you decrease the amount of money you need to spend on the PC. So that way when you go to sell the computer, you maximize your profits. And there is another brand out there that I have been looking at for a little while that I want to test out, and this is the perfect computer to do that on. And I think that this specific product is absolutely going to help set this computer apart and make it look absolutely great. Now trust me, nobody is more excited to put this system together more than I am, but I did want to cover one last thing before we go ahead and put the system together, and that is a couple comments that I did receive asking why I disassemble a computer if it already appears to be clean. Now if you look at this system right here, it appears to be like perfectly clean. I mean, even I was shocked at how clean this system was when I first got it. But this wasn't your system. You don't know anything about this computer, and I am extremely OCD when it comes to things being perfect if I'm going to be selling them. And for example, with this board, it's very minimal. I mean, obviously I could fix this with the motherboard still inside the case, but there are 2 motherboard screws missing from this computer. Now, that's super small, but that's big to me. I don't want to sell a computer that has missing screws. So in every video that we do, if I buy a system, we're gonna take it apart. That's just the way it's gonna go, because I wanna make sure everything is perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw this thing together, and we can't get it done fast enough because I haven't played video games in 2 weeks and I am itching to see just how powerful this system is once we finish it. So let's get going. So what do you guys think of the graphics card fitting in this case, huh? We have like almost no clearance for anything else inside of there. That graphics card is like the perfect size for this build. So I actually wasn't planning on doing any recording today because I built this computer yesterday. I went to bed because it was getting late and I worked all day today. And I was gonna finish up the back half of this video, you know, tomorrow when I was a little bit more rested, but unfortunately I can't do that. I have to finish the video today because yeah, I finished the build and we tested the gameplay on this system, which is awesome, by the way. But when I posted it on Facebook Marketplace, I woke up this morning and somebody is extremely interested in purchasing this system from me. So I have to record today while I still own this PC. Now, in the beginning of this video, I did say that we were gonna be using a product that I have never used before, and that is these up here fans. Now, I really liked the idea of these fans because they are like a uni fan, but they are just automatically daisy chained together. Now, most fans have the ability to daisy chain them together so that you can control multiple fans off of one cable, but these are different in the fact that they are like proprietary. You can't disassemble them and then power each fan individually. They have to stay daisy chained together in order to get power to the fan and get the RGB rolled. So when you put the CPU cooler fan on, and then you put the back CPU cooler fan on, and then you put the exhaust in the rear on, they are all still daisy chained together with a cable that is extremely thick. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a huge headache. I was hopeful that they had the ability to have a second adapter that you could plug in so you didn't have to always have them daisy chained together, but unfortunately that is not the case. I really wanted to love these fans, but they made building the PC just a little bit more difficult. Now they look great, but if I was, you know, the CEO of Up Here, I would 100% include an adapter to make it so that if I didn't want to have 3 fans, you know, daisy chained, I could have 2 of them daisy chained and then still power one separately. Now, if you are curious, and if you have made it this far into the video, I'm sure that you are, as to what graphics card we ended up putting inside of this beautiful system right here. Now, this is an XFX 6700 GPU, and it is pairing really well with the Ryzen 7 3700X inside of our system, and it is getting us some really beautiful gameplay, which I will show you right now. So starting off in Helldivers, this system was pushing out a very beautiful 81 FPS on average at its max preset. When we jumped into God of War in a ultra preset, we were getting a beautiful 87 FPS on average. I feel like we needed to see how this system would perform in a shooter, so I loaded into Modern Warfare 2 at a high preset, and we were getting a stunning 110 FPS on average. And lastly, I just had to see how this system would fare in Starfield, because that game will really push a system to its limits, and at a high preset, we were getting a very respectable 69 FPS on average. Now, after I went ahead and uploaded last week's video, my wife actually pointed out to me that I completely skipped an extremely important part of the build-up challenge, and that is to decrease the total amount of money it took to build that week's computer from our total bankroll that we are going to use in order to build our grand finale computer. Now, if you don't remember last week's build, it was a Ryzen 7 3700X, just like this system, but it had a 3070 Ti in it, and it was a more blacked out build. It came together really well. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you go see it. It was really, really nice build. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna decrease the total cost of that build from our grand total, and then I'm gonna tell you how much that computer sold for, because we did sell that computer this week, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing for this system right here so that we know exactly where we stand in total funds to build the grand finale computer. Now, last week we did have $1,812 in our total bank before we went ahead and built last week's computer. And that computer cost $520 to put together, which still blows my mind how cheap that computer was. But after we decreased the total cost of that build from our grand total, we were left with $1,292. And I sold last week's computer for $900. So wonderful profit from that system right there. And that was the whole idea of that computer, was to try and make as much money as we possibly could from that system. Now that brings our grand total back up to $2,192 towards our final build. Now, the cost of this PC right here is a little higher, but I did pay $250 for the original system. I paid $220 for the GPU that we put in here, and I believe it was like $180 something for all the additional upgrades, the fans, the cable extensions, the power supply. I mean, it was a little bit more pricey than usual, but that's because we switched things up and we tried to get a little bit of a different look for this system. So it did cost $656 to put together this system right here. And that's gonna decrease our grand total to $1,536. But the guy that wants to buy this computer from me today wants to pay $825 for it. Now we are getting closer and closer and closer to our final build, which is going to be an extremely powerful editing PC. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've already started collecting some of the parts that are going into that system, and oh man, that thing is gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to get there, because if we get the $825 for this system, like this guy is saying he's going to pay for it today, then that's gonna bring us up to $2,361, and that is incredibly close. We are just getting so close to putting that system together, and I can't wait. Now, if you did have a little bit of fun with me today, it doesn't need to be like this much fun, but if it was like just like this much fun, if you had this much fun with me today, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And while you're down there, go ahead and smash that like button as well. It is always appreciated. And I definitely wanted to say thank you to my channel members for helping me buy PC parts by supporting this channel. I love you guys so much. And for everyone else, I definitely wanted to say, like always, that no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having the most fantastic day, and I'm gonna see you right here for the next episode.